All right, our last 10-2 video lesson, rationalizing the denominator. This just means no radicals allowed in the denominator. So the rule is for all real numbers a, there is no restrictions on a whatsoever, the numerator, and b greater than 0, because b cannot be 0 and you can't take the square root of a negative number. A over the square root of b equals, and what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the numerator and denominator by the denominator, the square root of b, because the square root of b over the square root of b is just 1, and we multiply by 1, it doesn't change anything. So now I have a times the square root of b in the denominator, and because of the property of multiplying a radical times a radical, we can multiply the radicands under the radicals. So we have b times b. B times b is b squared in the denominator, and of course the square root of a square is that number. So what I end up with is a times the square root of b over b. So I've gotten rid of the square root in the denominator, and that is what we mean by rationalizing. So that's the algebra, kind of complicated. Let's see how we use this in an actual example. So our example is simplify 2 over the square root of 3. So for our solution, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to multiply the top and the bottom of this expression by the square root of 3. So square root of 3 over the square root of 3. Again, in the numerator, I just have 2 times the square root of 3 over the square root of 3 times 3. Now, the square root of 3 times 3 is 3 squared, and when you take the square root of a perfect square, you just have that number. So what I end up with is 2 times the square root of 3 over 3.